To begin with, I worked at the Department of the Interior as a political appointee when the Indian Gaming Regulatory Act was passed by the Congress and signed by President Reagan. Literally, when we political appointees showed up at the Department of the Interior in 1989, IGRA was on the Secretary's desk waiting for us to implement it. And that's where I started. Shortly after I was at Interior is when I went to work for a company called Sodak Gaming, which had an exclusive distributorship with IGT, and our territory was all of Indian country. So anybody getting into Indian gaming, all the tribes nationwide, as the tribes approved compacts and began to get into the business, all of those areas were our exclusive territory to sell all the products that IGT had. So from the beginning in 1988 of Indian gaming, we were involved, and I was involved even before the company got involved. For IGT, the biggest milestones were undoubtedly several. First was the first compact that was passed between a state government and a tribal government, and that was in Minnesota. Sodak Gaming got the first IGT big contracts for slot machines at that time. And as the states then approved compacts and we did have more opportunity for more markets, we then expanded our business footprint. The other big opportunities for us were the approval of, say, Prop 5 in California and Prop 1A in California. And so then IGT bought Sodak Gaming, which is another major milestone. So what IGT did then was incorporate Sodak Gaming and all of those markets into the IGT corporate structure. Importantly, as gaming in general has changed and video products have been introduced, or electronic table games have been introduced, or digital products have been introduced, in all of those new product categories, IGT has had to be sensitive to tribal regulations, and they have had to be sensitive to unique tribal regulations in unique jurisdictions. Some jurisdictions would only allow video, as an example. Some jurisdictions would only allow electronic table games, as an example. And so as market conditions changed and market conditions developed, IGT had to change, and we also had to develop new products. And we continue to do that, particularly now as we look at the whole digital space, and also non-cash gaming, cashless gaming. And those are some of our main new products now, digital and cashless. And we're being very innovative, and some of our earliest customers in cashless have been tribal.
Our live dealer product has been great for us. We started with Baccarat. It's been a great game for us. We use that in a lot of jurisdictions where the regulations are different from the others. The live table gives us the ability to have a suite live, automated, and video games. So the customer is always happy with whatever product they want. If they're not happy with a live game, they can switch over to an automated game, or they can switch over to a video game.
I think the first and most important consideration in doing business in Indian country is respect. Respect for the history of tribal gaming, respect for the history and culture of tribes and Indian people themselves. And secondly, I think, is patience, to be very respectful and knowledgeable, but to wait and do it on their terms and in their time frame. In all of those business arrangements, to understand that sovereignty and tribal sovereignty is the most important thing for Indian people and for tribal governments. To honor sovereignty, to be patient, to be respectful, I think, are the most important things.